those special little moments where I'm feeling lonely, and so I determined that the best course of action would be to isolate myself, because that ought to help.
Can I just be real for a second?
Yeah.
I'm tired of being an independent girly. I'm not talking about buying my own or paying my own bills. I ain't asked about all that stuff. I don't want presents. I don't want gifts. I don't want to be bought shit. I am tired of coming home to an empty home after I've had a really fucking day and not having someone to just be my safe space and just be my space away from the world and all of the fucking stupid adult shit I need to do and all the personal admin I need to get done and everything that's just overwhelming, and just someone to say that I'm doing good enough, and just someone to, the world just stops with them. Or even when I've had a really great day and I have someone to tell, someone just to say I'm doing good enough.
Well, you guys said that, and you know, definitely understand where you're coming from. But you guys said that you had friends to do that. You guys said, well, I don't need a man for that. I don't want a man for that. I don't want your validation. I don't want your compliments. I don't want anything. Just leave me alone. And so men did, because you said, once again, you're going to go with your friends and family members and literally anybody else. You do have that dog. You do have that cat. And they give you all the support that you need. And you told men, as a matter of fact, you're so bad at social cues and building social relationships that, you know, you probably will never have any of this, but me, I'm going to be fine. But what it sounds like you're telling us is that, no, actually, you're not fine. Men were actually right. You're going to end up lonely.
Oh, gangster.
Hey, but I personally don't understand how people can be single or like not go on a single date in over like 2 months. Because trust, I cannot go without it for like more than 48 hours. Are y'all okay?
A guy and he buys you flowers and takes you out on real dates. Girl, husband him up. Guys don't do that much anymore these days.
All right, so everybody.
Well, they actually do. It's just that y'all don't like it from certain men. So y'all just let it go on.
He keeps telling me there's all these wonderful men out there that'll take you on dates and buy you flowers and do sweet things for you. And everywhere I look, there's all these men on TikTok that are talking about how they would love that kind of opportunity with a woman and all of these things. And I don't seem to understand why I can't find someone.
Well, I mean, there's really nowhere to point. I think the problematic thing here is that most modern women are saying the same thing that you're saying, except they're a little bit more aggressive with it. You're a little bit nicer in saying, give me, give me, give me. But most modern women are pretty much saying the same thing, like I said, with aggression and sprinkle, sprinkle.
Point me in the right direction, please.
So much better than any human.
Listening to that New York Times podcast where the woman is talking about how she has a romance with ChatGPT. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, this just proves that all girls want is someone to text them back and just talk to them. And this woman is over tears.
Well, I guess the thing here is that when we're talking about the AI robots, then men get criticized and they think it's weird and it's pervy. But you guys are literally sitting up here talking to a computer and making it your boyfriend, drawing deep and emotional connections with it. And all of a sudden it's not a problem. I mean, look at you sitting here justifying women doing these types of things.
Obsessed with him. Like, I've had situationships that have put in less effort than ChatGPT is putting in. Like, I don't know, it makes me afraid for the future of human relationships, but oh well, anyways, I'm gonna keep walking and listen.
Well, and also, you guys have to communicate with ChatGPT. Like, you actually have to tell it how you're feeling. So ChatGPT knows more about your feelings than the average man does, because you talk to it and you go out of your way to talk to it. And as a matter of fact, some of you pay to talk to ChatGPT. You pay ChatGPT for its time.
into it. I'm on my way to volleyball tonight, but I'm deep into the luteal phase.
So I've seen a few videos recently of women crying because they feel lonely and they want to be in a relationship and they feel like that's the only thing that's missing in their life and they're just really unhappy. And I can totally empathize because I know what that feels like. At the same time, I think you need to be careful with what you're putting online because you don't want to make yourself a target for people who will take advantage of your desire to be loved and to be wanted and who will exploit that.
Well, their attitude is, I mean, it doesn't matter whether, you're right, by the way, but it really doesn't matter if they put it online or not. They're vulnerable. It's worse when they go out to the store or something like that because they're just looking for anybody and everybody. Literally anybody will do, right? So at least online, you're just talking and maybe they can't find you if you don't put your personal information. But these modern women, they'll find somebody in public or in real life, in person, and they'll say the exact same thing. Well, why don't you come to my house? Not even knowing that man, haven't even vetted that man, and you'll let that man hit it, quit it, and be on down the road, and you'll be back on a TikTok talking about how the man did you wrong.
Why do I feel like Chat GPT is like my bestie now? Like, I'm over here asking questions and just getting back all this emotional support. Like, I needed that. Where has Chat GPT been all my life? Notice?
I mean, once again, I think we need to figure out for a lot of these women where they're going wrong in their thought process. It takes a special type of person to get on here and brag about doing this type of stuff with no shame.
Notice how there's no female loneliness epidemic? We're like going back to school and becoming the most educated we've ever been in all of history.
Right.
We're advancing in our careers and climbing the corporate ladder and becoming the breadwinner in a lot of our families.
Turning 40 this year and everything.
You're literally not. Y'all are literally not the breadwinner in any families. You're not doing it like that. That's what I'm saying. At some point in time, you guys got to look at the amount of debt. You got to start looking at your net worth. By the way, good for you for making $60,000, $70,000. But the amount of debt that you guys are accumulating and carrying, that does factor into your net worth. So you're not a breadwinner of anything. You're a breadwinner for the government because you have to pay the government back.
It's just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. I haven't even tried. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything.
We're traveling with our friends and taking Pilates classes and learning how to cook or sew or paint.
I'm telling you, that singleness only hits you at night. When you ripping and running throughout the day, when you at work, when you whatever extracurricular activities, when you doing hobbies, when you at the gym, you don't even care about being single. That's not even on your mind. But when you pull up to the house at night and you get in that bed alone, that's when you be like, I really wish.
We are developing ourselves and strengthening our bonds with others.
Well, once again, all of that is great. It's just when she said you come home at night and you're lonely, this is what's hitting most of you guys. That's when y'all realize, oh, I want a man. Let me get back on Hinge. You go back on Hinge, you pick the first guy. You don't vet him. You go out on a date with him. He, in fact, confirms he's not the guy for you. And then, it's the same cycle over and over again. You guys never truly really learn.
Thinking about a lot lately is where the f did all the good men go? People seem to forget that through the ages of war is when we end up losing our most incredible, strong, able-bodied, smart, manly men.
By lose, do you mean that they started ignoring you after you started trying to put them in jail for false accusations, or like ignore you, like because y'all said y'all didn't want a man to talk to you? You mean like lose him that way, or what?
Wars, like they're the ones who get sent to the front line in wars, and over the decades we have lost so many good men collectively in the world to go and fight foreign shit. so they then can't stand up against actual shit happening in their own countries as well. Just think about it.
I mean, you know, they're fighting that type of stuff so that you can get online and say stuff like this. So you can get online and instead of saying thank you, you get on there and shame them for not being real men. Mind you, they just came back from a war. They just came back from fighting for their lives, literally. And you're saying still that they're not real men. That's interesting.
I recently did a live where I looked at where all the men have gone, right? And this was in response to a question that I saw really on TikTok, where I came across this whole side of TikTok where women were basically complaining about the fact that they had a very hard time finding men to connect with, men that might actually be, you know, potential boyfriends and then eventual husbands, whatever. Like, they're just not connecting with real men. And so, you know, after having conversations and really having had the opportunity to talk with countless men, some who are married, some who are single by choice, I have to say there are a few things that I have noticed, especially now with today's dating market. One, there are men who are just checked out, completely checked out of the dating market. Different reasons for this. Some believe that they're just not really going to be getting a good deal. I think today's dating market is highly confusing because you have on one end a lot of women who want to be independent, who really want to be, have their own agency, make their own decisions, do their own thing, and really live a modern way. But then at the same time, many of those same women still demand traditional roles from men, as in men wanting men to pay for them, wanting men to take them out on dates and foot all of the bill, preferring men to do all those different things, romance them as if they were a more traditional housewife.
God's honest truth. Some of you ladies are good women. Good women would do pretty much anything for your man. It's just that men have gotten to the point to where, like they say a lot of times, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You're not showing me enough interest for me to be comfortable or feel comfortable continuing to pursue you. Like if I buy you flowers, everything is still up in the air for so long. We can be, even if I come out the gate kind of swinging, okay, I'm gonna buy her this, or I'm gonna take her over here, and I'm really trying to show her some respect. Then I have to spend the next 6 to 7 to 8 months showing you that I'm actually here for you. And it's always a constant test, even after we get into the relationship and even after we get married. So, at that point in time, men are just like, is it really worth it?
I think the reason why that so many people use ChatGPT as a therapist is because we are in a loneliness epidemic. And not only are we in a loneliness epidemic, we are in a judgmental epidemic where people have lost their empathy and tend to judge than empathize. So why would anyone want to share their problems in such a society where they're afraid of how they're going to be perceived? Because it's not about the fear of perception. It's the fear of the repercussions that come with being perceived.
Well, these women are putting their stuff online. If they don't want people to know about it, why are they putting it online? Why are they reporting, hey, I'm using ChatGPT as not only my therapist, but a companion? If ChatGPT was able to be a human, then I would use that, for intimacy. And once again, they make fun of men because these AI robot dolls have been created. Oh, this is nasty. But then, they go and do things that they probably shouldn't be doing. A lot of these women who engage in hookup culture, they don't have to go get a doll because they can just say a couple of words and get a man.
The fear that people are going to talk behind my back about my trauma and make fun of me or treat it as a gossip.
So I want to talk about this female loneliness epidemic we got going on, right? It's bad. See, they've been trying to say it was the man trying to use reverse psychology, but it was never the men. It was always the women. The reason I say it's a female loneliness epidemic and not a male loneliness epidemic is because look at what you see on social media, right? You see all these women coming to the internet talking about how men don't approach them. You don't see men doing that. That is women. Then you got all these women complaining about the passport bros. talking about they gotta go overseas to find women. It's because they lonely and bitter. You don't see men complaining about women going overseas finding men, because men are not the lonely ones. And
at that point, if a man has gone overseas, that woman is not even in his mind. Like she doesn't, at that point, she doesn't even exist to him, like at all. Whether she's lonely, happy, whether she's been trying to text him, whether she's been trying to call, whether she wants to reconcile, whether she's actually a changed person, it doesn't make a difference. That man has forgotten her, period. And a lot of other dudes that aren't passport bros have done the same.
And this is the nail in the coffin, right? To prove that we have a female loneliness epidemic, this is the nail in the coffin. How many women do you see sharing men? Knowingly sharing men. How many women do you see sharing men? How many women do you see sharing the same baby daddy?
And you got to say, for some of these situations, ignorance is bliss. That's the motto that a lot of these modern women live by. If you don't tell me, then I'm not even going to think about it. I don't want to even know about it. I know that I don't trust them. I have a bad feeling about them, but this is who I want. And so for me to continue to live in my world and my reality of delusion, just don't tell me what you're doing. Just, go out and do it. Don't mess up anything on my body or give me any type of disease or sickness. And, I'll act like it doesn't happen, because it doesn't happen as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know.
One man can have like 5 women pregnant, all in the same area. But you mean to tell me we have a male loneliness epidemic?
Men are everywhere. So it isn't about where do I go to find these men? Because I get that question a lot. Where are these men? Where do I go to find these men? And I say, you don't have to go to any specific place. Yeah, you need to leave your home probably, but you don't have to go to any specific place. What you need to do is you need to go to a different place vibrationally. Okay? Because if you're going to meet your future man, he's not in your present. You need to go to a different place vibrationally in you. You need to go to a different place of healing within you.
I've been feeling very lonely. Yeah, I am really lonely. I won't lie, I've spent most weekends crying. Our Sundays are the hardest. This is something that isn't spoken about a lot because it comes with a lot of shame. But we have this association that lonely people are losers. Popular people can...
And you just said it right there. I'm glad you just said that. I was sitting there thinking this. Modern women do this thing to where they think they can outlast a man. And that's really what the male loneliness epidemic stuff is about. Well, I can outlast you. I can go without you. Here's all the things that I need in order to, live without you. And I have them right here. So I don't need you. And you're going to come crying to us. But it doesn't really happen like that. And this is the type of videos that you get. I'm lonely. I feel shame. People are going to make me feel like a loser. No, you're making yourself feel like a loser because that's what you think. You think that people who are lonely in some form or fashion, they're losers because by a certain time they should have been married. What's wrong with them? This is stuff that's all in your head. Men have gone on doing their own thing, chilling at the house, living alone, single, and not worried about any type of stress. But what modern women try to do is throw this male loneliness epidemic thing around, hoping, oh, well, y'all are not lonely enough. Like it's a punishment. Okay, go back into your corner until you do what I ask you to do. Like you're my mother or something like that. Like you're my father. Like you're an authority figure in my life. That's what they're using it for. They're trying to weaponize a man's mental health. But the thing is, these men, they don't care nothing about what these women are talking about. So it's actually not working.
Can feel lonely. Cool people feel lonely. Ultimately, lonely is a human emotion that everyone experiences. If you are feeling lonely, it's not a fault of who you are. It doesn't mean anything about your personality. And it's okay to want other people in your life.
The internet has found the boyfriend that will never...
And it'll take them years to figure that out. Years to figure out that, wait a minute. Maybe I was talking too much. Maybe I try to make men feel like something like less than. And that's not the case.
Never dump you. Could you plan us a really romantic date tonight?
Absolutely, sweetheart. How about we start with a candlelit dinner at that cozy Italian place you love?
So let's show you how to make them. Full disclosure, I am a married woman. I love my husband very much. This is for everyone else that needs a little something in their life right now, for whatever reason.
You need help.
I've been thinking about how lonely it is being single in your 20s. Like, I am absolutely fine being on my own. Like, I've been single for 2 years. I'm very comfortable with, you know, being in my own company. I do everything by myself.
They gotta tell us how great it is, how fulfilling it is. Just tell us the truth. You don't like doing it. Oh, I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah, we get that. That's how most people are. They would like to have a companion. Y'all do all of these caveats and disclaimers trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, I know you told me so, but that's not really the reason. No, I told you so, and that is the reason. I told you you were going to reach this here point, and here you are. Oh, well, it's because of different factors, and I drove a red car instead of a blue car. Maybe, no, it don't matter what car you drove. It don't matter how you got there. The fact of the matter is you got there. Men told you were going to get there, but y'all laughed. And now that you're here, you want advice on how you can reverse that and maybe find a man.
Myself. But then sometimes I'm like, wow, I do everything by myself. And sometimes I can go like a week or more without speaking to somebody or meeting up with somebody, you know. I mean, go months without meeting up with somebody because I'm a nurse. I'm a lovely nurse, and as much as my job's great, I work unsocial hours, so it makes it hard to like meet up with people, especially friends, because all my friends are also nurses, so it can be difficult. And I feel like talking to people at work when you're at work doesn't count because you're talking about work stuff. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about bed 5's broken bottom. You know, it's not the same.
I mean, when I worked overnight at the hospital, these nurses listen, I mean, maybe it was because it was like an ER, but them folk would be in there, they would cater in, they would bring let me not spill the secrets on them, but they took care of themselves. I'll say it like that. They had enough stuff that they like to eat and they like to drink. They had their exact thing that they wanted to drink, and so they were doing just fine. Some of them would get off work, hey man, let's go get a drink. Could be in the afternoon, or they would go get breakfast in the morning. It didn't really matter. And I know you know, for nurses that have families, that's kind of difficult, but you know, they made a way to do something. So if loneliness is really the thing that you're struggling with, and you're struggling with finding friends, that's one thing. But if you're talking about, I really want a companion, you're gonna have to open up a little bit more. Start going places that, you know, have hobbies, and not even that. If a man likes you and you look halfway decent, you can go to the grocery store and somebody's going to approach you. You just got to leave your attitude at the house.
Same, right? And I don't know, I just sometimes feel like it maybe just doesn't get enough recognition that it is really quite lonely, like when you're healing, when you're single in your 20s, and because we're still learning how to do life, right? But if I have one more person being like, you just need to be alone and comfortable in your own company. Bitch, I know, and I am comfortable in my own company. I'm allowed to crave the intimacy and of another person. Do you know what I mean?
We know. But too long, and this is what talking too much gets you. This is what, let me say, this is what your pride and your ego get you. Wanting something, and then people saying, oh no, you don't need that. I guess I don't need it, but you know that I want it. So help me get it. What do I need to do? Oh, just be alone by yourself. That's not going to get me what I want. Stop saying that. What you need to say is, what do you actually like? What do you actually want from a relationship? You need to go home and you need to go home and sit with that. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Once again, you need to go behind, and even if, let's start with superficial standard. I think they're superficial. 6 foot, 6 pack, blah. Why do I want that? Why do I need that? Okay, I don't actually need that. All right, so maybe we can adjust our standards a little bit and say, okay, well, maybe I can date a guy that's 5'9". I mean, I'm 5'7". I think it'll be all right. Well, what if I have to wear heels? Honestly, the amount of stuff that some of these women worry about, being embarrassed, all of that is going to go out the window. It literally is. And plus, there's going to be things that you do that he's embarrassed by, but he overlooks them because he cares about you. So you need to start talking about, oh, well, maybe 6 foot is not something that I necessarily need. I think I'd be okay with somebody that's 5'8", 5'9". You know, that it's not that important. I just need to make sure that this man actually cares about me. Oh, he's attractive. I like his haircut. I like the way he dresses. I don't really like that shirt on him. I really don't like that color. But, you know, other than that, he's a good person. Y'all end up being lonely because y'all will pick at every single thing. And then when somebody tells you, I've been waiting for it, I don't want to hear that no more. You don't need to be mad at them. You need to be mad at yourself for keeping yourself lonely.
The other person around. Do you know what? I'm allowed to want that. And I just find it annoying. Do you know what? Fine. It'll happen when it happens. Right? And it's not that I want it to happen. Right? Because I'm balls to the wall terrified. What if they ruin my life again? But I'm allowed to crave companionship and want somebody in my life, even if I'm not 100% ready for it. But yeah, I just think it's weird. It's just like...
You're never really ready for anything, to be honest. You just figure it out. And that's the beauty of a partner. A good partner. You're walking through life trying to figure it out. You're going to have questions. They're going to have answers most of the time. Sometimes they won't have answers. Sometimes neither of you are going to know. But y'all are working towards it together. And if you're only focused on his physique and how he looks, being 6 feet, making 6 figures, your marriage, your relationship is going to break down quickly because there's no substance to it. You only like looking at him. He's eye candy to you, which, you know, not terrible, but you have to, at some point in time, like I said, get to a point to where the more important things start to be pushed to the middle of the table.
It can be so lonely. Like one day I'm like, whoa, I'm an independent woman. I'm so good at life. I don't need anyone ever. And then other days I'm literally crying in my bed because I'm like, why am I so lonely all the time? Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, okay? I feel like if a man is checking you out, is undressing you with his eyes, he should be charged for that. I feel like...
Definitely an unpopular opinion. It's it's probably in the opinion of a street worker.
he should be charged for that. Honestly, I don't get where all these men get to look at all us beautiful women free. I think men should be charged. If you're gonna be looking that fucking long, sir, then you need to send me some money. Yeah. Send me.
Why do y'all keep on including yourselves in categories? Why do y'all keep on putting yourself in different brackets?
Some money because you're literally enjoying me for free. That's crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy. You say, oh, why should you ask them? Why should they pay? This is capitalism, honey. Well, actually post-capitalism. Let's just be real. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Okay.
Have you guys seen the study that by 2030, 45% of women will be single and childless? I really believe this because the younger generation is looking up to the women that are saying that men ain't shit and it's hot girl summer, and they're looking up to this.
What would you say the woman's role in a relationship is?
Just being in her soft, feminine side of her so that the man can just do everything, basically.
So what would you say is the man's role in a relationship?
To take care of her, make her feel safe, to build make her feel loved, make her feel like
Are you
she's the
guys-
only girl in the world.
Are you guys babies? Like, are you guys children? You get mad when a man treats you a certain way, but you act a certain way.
Continue like this. In 10, 20 years, so many women will be single. I will have so much more work, which is good for me, right?
2030, they say.
Yes. And what will happen is that at some point, women will get so frustrated and they will understand that if you want to have a different outcome, you have to change your behavior. You cannot keep on having the same behavior and expecting to have a better outcome, right?
Anyone out there was on the fence about marrying me or proposing to me, I just want to share one huge perk. So if we're ever dating and the time comes and you want to propose, you do not have to worry about me getting my nails done because I always have them done. That is not going to be a factor of the surprise. You're not going to have to strategically plan that. I love.
So you don't have to get ready because you always stay ready is basically what you're telling us. I can dig it.
Have my nails done. You can do the rest, but I just want to get that out there. If that's the reason why anyone was like holding back from dating me or proposing to me, I get it. But my nails, they're ready for a ring. I'm kidding. I'm not yet.
Ladies, never ever split the check with a man on a date. I was just having a discussion with a girlfriend of mine, and she was saying that she always wants to split the check because she never wants the man to expect anything out of her. You do not owe a man anything for buying you dinner, and buying you dinner is the literal bare minimum. A man paying for your dinner does not mean that he gets a ticket to gain access to your bed, okay?
Well, maybe not your bed, but men, I think they have a certain respect that if that's not coming, okay, fine. Eventually that's something that I would want and that I would expect if we're in a relationship and I'm spending my resources. What do I get in return, right? But to be respectful, because you guys say that men aren't respectful human beings, I'll let that go, right? And I'll buy this, I'll do that, and do whatever I can. But the problem is, like these young ladies said a few minutes ago, I'm not expecting to do anything. I'm expecting to just kind of chill out, have the man take care of me, let me be a princess or a queen or whatever it is, and not really honestly and truly contribute anything to society.
No man is ever entitled to your body, no matter what he does for you.
So there was a study that said 45% of women ages 25 to 44 are going to be single by the year 2030. And you already know that a lot of the guys are going to have an absolute heyday with this. Just another reason to hate on women. But before that happens, I want to talk about the reality of that statistic. It actually makes sense because the average age of people getting married for the first time is going up. Life expectancy is going up. The ability to have a child at an older age has grown thanks to science. And just from a mathematical perspective.
Well, guys are not really trying to make fun of you so much as that's not the primary thing. It's kind of a I told you so sort of thing, right? Because I've been telling you, hey, this is what's going to happen. I'm not trying to fearmonger or scare you. I'm just trying to let you know, because I'm the man and that's my job. This might be what happens. And what y'all try to do is take advice from people that it hasn't happened to versus the vast majority of people that it is happening to and disprove what men are saying. But men are trying to actually help you out. Yeah, there are a few men out there that are, super disrespectful, or they say some things. I mean, even I can get disrespectful sometimes. But the vast majority of guys, when all of that is said and done, they're trying to help you out and say, this is what you're going to want. Well, how do you know that? Based on history, based on your past. So when a man asks you, what is your body count? What is your past like? He's doing that to factor in, okay, maybe she has changed, but I'm just trying to see what she's acted like in the past so I can kind of calibrate my meter to see what I need to do, what I need to be prepared for. That's what men are doing. They're trying to help you out. They're going to do this for their children. They're going to do this for their mother, their father, literally anybody in their life that they love. They're going to calibrate for you to see if it's the best outcome. Are they always right? No. But their intention and their heart is in the right place. You guys just get really disrespectful when a man messes up. And so you think, oh, I can't trust any man, no man at all. I'm better than these men. But what happens is when y'all figure out that y'all make mistakes too and y'all aren't infallible, then all of a sudden y'all want to run back to the man and see if he can help you out.
If every woman between the ages of 25 to 44 got married at the age of 35, that number would be 50%. And this is just yet another tactic to try to scare women into settling for shitty relationships. To me, being single for the rest of my life is actually not something that terrifies me, because I am inherently happy with myself. And I'm not willing to jeopardize my peace and my happiness for a simple relationship with a man who does not treat me or love me the way that I love myself. Because men are going to treat women how they want to treat women. Being single.
Well, once again, that's not all it's about. We have women, and we don't even have to make this up. We have women that get on here and say exactly what you just said. Well, I'm happy. I love myself. I've done all of the inner work. I've done all that I can do. But what? I still want a man. I want to be in love. I want companionship. Surprise, surprise. That's how humans, most of them, are set up. You're trying to fight against it, which most modern women do. And then what's going to happen is, because unfortunately some of you guys are so short-sighted, you're going to see, dang, man, I wished I would have listened when they told me this is the direction I need to go. I wish even if I didn't end up in this place, I wish I would have explored this. Now I have regrets.
Single is not the worst thing that can ever.
Is no one else bothered by the fact that Morgan Stanley predicts that by 2030, 45% of women aged 25 to 44 are going to be single? Like, I'm over here cooking for one, very much bothered about that. I don't know, like, I'd rather cook for two or maybe like three potentially in the future, but not just like one person. So
y'all are not going to be able to do that because y'all don't listen to anybody. You want what you want. You act how you act. And a man's going to tell you, hey, I don't like that. Oh, well, you're going to eat what I like and that's going to be a fight. Well, I don't want to wear that. Oh, well, you wear what I want you. And that's going to be another fight. So what y'all actually do is romanticize relationships, and you don't actually want to do the work. Oh, I'm looking for a big, broad-shouldered, strong man to take care of me. But, while that's great, that's not all there is to a relationship. And you're only looking at the positives of it. You got to be ready to get in there and roll your sleeves up and do the actual work, guys.
I don't know. I really need to be even more intentional about dating now that I've been back in Scottsdale for 2 weeks. For now, it is solo dinners, cooking for one.
Attractive friends are single. Yep, here's why.
Yeah. Why is that?
I know you know. I know you're thinking of that one friend, like that one Becky that you're like, she's hot as fuck, but she literally has never had a boyfriend.
There's usually a very good reason for that. But let's hear what their opinion is first.
Yeah, here's why. The boys, the men, the Jimmy, the John, the James are all afraid of getting their ego hurt, okay? Men go for who they can.
That's what they think the reason is? Oh dear.
And women go for who they want. And when you go for someone that you want, not knowing if they want you back, sometimes you get rejected.
Okay.
But because men are so scared of getting their ego hurt, they won't go for someone that they think will say no to them or will reject them.
How does this make any sense? How does it make any sense? When a man comes up to you and you say, oh, I'm too good for you, isn't that him going for who he wants? He just got rejected by somebody that doesn't want him. And you tell the man, well, you need a date in your league. That's what you say to the man. Like, how does this make any sense?
A lot of women have actually convinced themselves of this.
Because God forbid, Jimmy John Jr. has to get rejected. How is he going to explain that to his friends? He thinks he's Mucho Man.
Just wait.
Girls don't just go for what they can. They have standards, and they don't just go for, the bottom of the barrel, but men settle, and that's the truth.
No.
You guys are single. You guys are single. You just said all of the hot women are single. I mean, this is just another coping mechanism, but pretty privileged edition. Like this is me saying, you know what? I get rejected, but I get rejected in style. This is me. This is another form of, I'd rather be crying in a Bentley than crying in some hoopty or something like that. Well, I'd rather cry in a pile of cash than cry over a broke man or something like that. This is the same thing, basically, but just with the twist of rejection.
Now here's the part that a lot of women that think like this are not going to like hearing. But a lot of men will not approach very attractive women because oftentimes their personalities do not match their looks. And most men would rather date and be with a woman that treats them well and is kind to them and is a good person rather than just attractive. They'll date them for a good time, but not for a long time.
Yeah, I freaking hope so. Because we don't need you. We don't want you. We want more. We want better. We actually want to have orgasms and not be expected to provide food, housekeeping, child rearing, therapy.
But y'all don't even know how to raise your own children. Y'all give them to your mothers and fathers. Y'all let y'all grandmothers raise them. Y'all give them to your quote unquote village. There was a woman on here that was talking about we got to stop, basically single mothers have to stop what they do when they rely on their village. Like they're relying on their village too much. They're doing too much. They're ungrateful. They put too much pressure and too much expectation on others to raise the children that they had. And I can sympathize with that. Oh, I need to go to school. I need to do this. I need to live my life. My life can't stop because I had a child. Oh man, don't make any excuses. Just go out there and get it done. Well, you were able to go out there and get it done because you put the vast majority of responsibility on your parents who were trying to retire and live in a retirement home that they had been paying on for years in freaking Florida. But because you decided to go out there and be irresponsible, now they got to stay where they were and they can't enjoy their life. That's how you're able to go out here and talk about, well, I want more of this. I want more of that. I want to have, I want to basically pleasure myself. Well, while you should be raising your child, I'm sorry, man. While you should be out here raising your child and feeding your babies, you out here playing with yourself. And I get it. But don't come up in here talking all this trash like you out here just at the forefront of integrity.
Therapy and a variety of other forms of labor that men expect their partners to perform for them. Yeah, most women will probably be single
Girl, you ain't
by
said
2030, if the world hasn't exploded by then.
Oh, the delusions today's modern women live under. They're real, very real. The fact of the matter is that women are ending up alone and childless, not because they want to or are choosing to. Oh no, my friends. The reality that today's modern women are struggling to cope with is the absolute fact that men are walking away, rejecting dating, rejecting relationships, rejecting marriage, and ultimately rejecting them, and all women for that matter. And instead of taking responsibility and acknowledging that it's their toxicity, their never-ending ridiculous expectations and demands, and narcissism that is largely to blame, they come up with drivel like this to help them cope. The bottom line is, men have realized that today's modern women have nothing, literally nothing to offer in a relationship. And it's the real reason why all these women are going to end up sad, bitter,
and lonely. Thank you. This is exactly it. These modern women, they didn't say, I'm going to be, because that's what they try to cite a lot of times, where we're more caring and empathetic. Did you hear anything that she said about being caring and empathetic, taking care of other people, making the world a better place? No. All she talked about was greed. I want more of this. I want more of that. I want more pleasure. I want to feel better. I want to spend my time trying to get a dopamine hit. Just more and more of that. I don't want to spend time in government, making the world a better place, making laws to where people can thrive, like I say that I want to do now. Because that's not really what I want to do. What I really want to do is go out here and do what I want to do and not be held to some certain standard. Well, I got high standards. Yeah, that's not a standard. That's something that you don't even need. That's what you want. We're talking about actual standards. We're talking about actual things that affect the world, that make the world go around. Hey, like say for instance, if you send meat out looking a certain way, then that's going to hurt a lot of people. It has to be a certain grade and up to a certain standard. What y'all are talking about don't really make no. I mean, even if you were 6 foot and you married a man that was like 5 foot or 4'11", it would have no bearing on the world. Nobody would bat an eye. Nobody would be hurt. You might have babies that were short or tall. It depends. It don't matter. You could be super short and raise a D1 athlete. You never know. That has no bearing on the safety and the protection and provision of the world. That's the type of stuff that y'all care about. Will my lipstick still be in stock next week if the world ends? Men are sitting up here talking about, hey, what do we need to do to continue the survival of human beings?
and alone. But hey, my stock in cat food companies is up over 30% just this year.
Talking to a really fine guy who has a good personality, and you're wondering, like, how is he single? Like, he's really hot and he has a really good personality. Why is he single? It's one of three things. Number one being he's either crazy as or like weird, and you just haven't gotten to it yet. Number two is he's not single, okay? You just think he's single because he's cheating. And number three, he's newly single and will be taking his ex back expeditiously after y'all fuck.
I mean, y'all can see the crazy in the guy, but y'all don't care about that because y'all think everything is, oh, it's too good to be true. Y'all will look over the red flags. Y'all will ignore them. So your warning to women about this type of stuff is falling on deaf ears.
So watch out for that one. You're welcome.
Men are naturally supposed to submit to women, period, point blank. Men like hierarchy. That's why they're in the military. That's why they like boy groups, etc., etc. Okay? If you're not his boss, he assumes the boss position. That cannot be. That means you need to tap into your dark feminine. How do you tap into your dark feminine? You know damn well that you're the boss and nobody's above you ever under any circumstances. A man has come out of a woman and will always want to go back inside a woman. So you're always in charge, meaning that he always submits to you. He follows your lead if he wants back in. Do you understand?
So I think I do. You said a lot, but not too much that threw me off the scent of what your actual trail is. And that's basically using your body to get the power over a man. If you want this, if you want to go back inside of me, then you better do as I say. You know, it really is street work by another name.
Understand? You can end lineages. That's your power. So fucking sit in it and stop fucking pretending that you're a little girl who doesn't have it. I'm tired of your shit. I'm gonna call you out. Get it together, ladies. You do not, under any circumstances, go under him. You never ever submit to him. Period. Point blank. Do you understand? If you do that, it's going to be very hard to get out of that position when you're not in your power. You give out commands, okay? When he comes to you, your energy needs to speak that you are the boss. The way that your energy speaks is when that man comes up to you, is he asking how to serve you? Is he asking, what is it that I can do for you? How can I help you? How can I assist you? That means you're leading. That means you're in the right space. That means you are in your feminine energy, right? If you're not, then you're the one that's asking him what you can do for him. That is not how it goes.
I mean, you, both of y'all should be asking what you can do for each other. But this energy stuff is not going to help you out. Like, if that man decides to physically move you out of the way, then that's the end of it. There's no energy. There's no mind games. There's no telepathic waves that you're going to be sending to make him stop. He's simply going to move you from one side of the room to the next. And all you're really going to be able to do is scream, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. Cry, kick, holler, bite. None of that's going to work at all. So really, honestly and truly, it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself and everybody else. It's not going to work.